All right, we have some massive news that has been breaking all day about Jeffrey Epstein and the Epstein files. And right now, Democrats are actually doing a fantastic job of putting all this pressure on the DOJ, with actually several Democrats today publicly releasing the names of people that we have seen in the files that have been redacted, names that the American people deserve to know. I'm going to walk through all of this, but before I do, if you're sitting here and you're like, who is this guy? My name is Chris Mowrey. I now do a daily show here on the Adam Mockler channel. If you want to subscribe to both me and Adam Mockler, you can right down below. It'd mean a lot. You guys have shown so much love to my channel recently. It means the world. Also, I know that I'm wearing this hat. I actually have no water in my apartment today. I know people have been there before. Sometimes the apartment's doing maintenance, no water. So unfortunately, no shower. I had to brush my teeth with a little water jug. That's okay. That's okay, because I'm still here, still ready to bring you some news. Let's start with this video from The Hill. Lauren Boebert last night. Lauren Boebert, take a listen.
Congresswoman, are you among the members who got to see the unredacted files today?
Yes, I saw some of them, not all of them, obviously. I'll be going back tomorrow to see more.
Any reaction on what you've seen so far?
I think that there's folks who are definitely implicated and co-conspirators. And, I don't think everyone there that was talking about underage girls being trafficked are victims.
Got it. And do you support any clemency for Ghislaine Maxwell? She was saying that she
I do not. Okay. I think Ghislaine Maxwell should get more time, and she should definitely be in a harsher prison than what she's in. It's absolutely disgusting.
Got it. Thank you, Congresswoman.
Wow, so Lauren Boebert there, obviously, understandably seeming frustrated. And I'm not trying to suggest that Lauren Boebert is anything but, self-serving. But again, pretty crazy if you understand the last 10 years of American politics and the hold that Donald Trump has had on this party to, again, keep watching these cracks form. Lauren Boebert seeming very frustrated there at the DOJ, especially with Ghislaine Maxwell sitting in this minimum security prison. I also want to point out that we got this document today. It's taking a long time to go through all the documents that the DOJ dropped. We still don't have all of them, and there's a lot of bullshit redactions. But a lot of Republicans today talking about unsealed court documents detail how Trump called the police about Jeffrey Epstein in 2006 and described Ghislaine Maxwell as Epstein's evil, quote, operative. And this is the file. And Republicans are like running laps around this. They're like, see, Donald Trump, he knew, and he called the police, and he said these were evil people. But this is actually a big problem for Donald Trump. I pulled up Harry Sisson's tweet. Harry Sisson, one of my best friends, he said it perfectly. Benny Johnson just confirmed that Trump knew about Epstein's abuse of young girls for a long time and still partied with him. Because this is 2006. We know for a fact there are videos and pictures and confirmed public instances of Donald Trump partying with Jeffrey Epstein. He only called police in 2006 after an investigation into Epstein became public. Nice self-owned, Benny. You support a pedo protector. This raises a lot of questions and contradicts what Donald Trump has previously said about this. He also told the American people he never knew about Jeffrey Epstein's actions, this suggesting that he actually did at one point know. Why is he lying about it? Now, I'm going to shift for a second to a world that might not seem super important, but is, which is this is Tim Dillon, a comedian close to Joe Rogan. And we have talked extensively on this channel about a lot of these comedians who have essentially were key to getting Trump elected or helping the right-wing culture kind of shift, and they're now backing off of it. Listen to Tim Dillon just the other day on this podcast, because it's pretty harsh words.
There's one thing left to do, and it's destroy Trump, because I don't know what Trump was a part of, but he's probably fucked some underage people, I would imagine, and God only knows what else. He's been accused of horrible things in these files. Now Trump's saying he likes Bill Clinton. Play this. Because Trump knows. Here's what Trump knows. Trump didn't fear Hillary when she had something to lose. Do you understand? When Hillary needed the dark overlords, when she needed them, he didn't fear her. Now that she doesn't need them and she's about to slip her skin suit and go back to her home planet, he knows that she will go in front of Congress. There she is with her husband, Bill, and they're going to light this shit on fire.
Now, that's an interesting point. Again, the first part just straight up saying like Donald Trump probably did these things, which, yeah, 100%. If you're living anywhere in the realm of reality, even if you are a raging Trump supporter, even if you are living at all in reality, which I guess those two things aren't possible, to be a raging Trump supporter and live in reality, but stick with me. If you're a conservative, if you're a moderate, if you don't care about politics, like anybody looking at this objectively knows that at the bare minimum, Donald Trump knew what was going on with Jeffrey Epstein, at some level helped facilitate it, didn't say anything about it. That's the bare minimum. But the reality is it's probably a lot more than that. And Tim Dillon here is saying like, now people like Democrats, like Bill and Hillary Clinton, in his opinion, have nothing to lose. They're going to come testify to Congress and blow the whole thing up. Khanna has also given us a lot of interesting news today. Listen to this from the Hill.
Found these in 2 hours. Just think about how many men are being protected. And then Donald Trump has scrubbed the files at the FBI. That's the biggest thing. He scrubbed the files at the FBI before he sent them to justice. They're protecting rich and powerful people. They're protecting the Epstein class who thinks they're above the law.
And what's the next steps then? Are you going back to see the files again? Like what is, lay out the rest of the week for us.
We're just to release this. We're going to write a letter to the FBI that they're in violation of the law. We're thinking of legal action. We're going to be exposing more men that they're protecting. But ultimately, this is about 2 tiers of justice. This is
That it is. It's about 2 tiers of justice. It's about protecting the Epstein class. And that last part, Representative Khanna saying, we're going to, make public some of the names that have been redacted because they have access to some of these redacted files. Congress people do, or people in Congress, but the American public does not. And that's exactly what's coming up here in just a second. You're going to listen to Khanna on the House floor talk about this. I just want to remind you really quickly before we get there who Donald Trump is. Okay, this is one of my most passionate topics. He's been found liable for sexually abusing a woman, Jean Carroll, and liable for defaming that woman twice. And this is what he said during the testimony about Jean Carroll, about this case. Take a listen.
That's what she said I did to her. She fainted with great emotion. She actually indicated that she loved it. Okay, she loved it until commercial break. In fact, I think she said it was sexy, didn't she? It was very sexy to be raped. Didn't you say that? Sir.
Donald Trump is such a piece of garbage. It's honestly hard to put into words. What he's referring to is a clip of Jean Carroll on CNN talking to Anderson Cooper, in which she describes that she doesn't like using the term rape to describe what happened to her because she feels like people have a positive connotation with it, and what happened to her was not positive. She's like, it hurt. It wasn't sexy. It wasn't this movie scene. So I don't like to call it this. So in no instance did she say it was sexy. It's so taken out of context. It's gross. She's describing how awful it was that Donald Trump did this to her. And again, this is why more women don't come out, frankly, because we're debating this on a fucking, excuse my language, on a YouTube video. And this stuff is not up for debate. Also, other members on the Hill were interviewed yesterday and today. Take a listen to this.
To review any of the unredacted files over at the DOJ, the Epstein files?
I did.
You did?
Yeah, I just came from there.
What can you tell us?
There's a bunch of sick fucks.
And I mean, anything more that we don't know? I feel like that's pretty well established.
I know. I think the part that is just so disgusting is that so many people knew.
Did he have any ties to any intelligence agencies? We've established some in our reporting, but wanted to know based on the file.
I only had about a half hour, so I'm going to go back again tomorrow. Okay. So mostly today I was just trying to go through a couple documents that was particularly interested in finding out.
What were those?
One was related to whether or not Trump, had ever kicked Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago, as he claimed.
What'd you find?
It's not true.
It's a lie.
That it's not true. And this is another big bombshell we got today, that a lot of Congress men and women who have access to these unredacted files saying that there's portions of the redactions that show that Donald Trump actually never kicked Jeffrey Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago. He claimed that he found out Jeffrey Epstein was this evil individual and kicked him out. But in reality, these documents claiming that Jeffrey Epstein was not a member of Mar-a-Lago, but was a guest and was never asked to leave. And again, it raises the question, why is the DOJ covering all of this up? Why are there so many redactions with Donald Trump's name? Before I play this video, this from Micah Irfan, who you might have seen on this channel as well. Trump's name was mentioned in the redacted files 38,000 times. Unredacted files, Trump's name was mentioned over 1 million times. This is a flagrant violation of the Epstein Transparency Act, which only permits the redactions of victims' names. People need to go to prison for this. And this was Jamie Raskin telling Axios today in an interview that when he searched Donald Trump's name in the unredacted files that he has access to, it came up more than 1 million times. It is a massive cover-up. I just said, why is the DOJ doing this? because they do whatever Donald Trump says, because these three-letter agencies have been hyper-politicized and filled with loyalists, really for the first time in American history. This is the definition of starting to build on unitary executive theory, which was outlined, the argument for that constitutionally outlined in Project 2025. We all screamed a lot about that before the election. Let's take a look at this clip. More House members talking about this today.
Bring down a British Prime Minister. Why do you think that is happening there, but it's hardly politically hurting an American president?
Well, I think it's important to note that right now the Congress is controlled by Donald Trump's allies. And our Speaker of this House preferred to keep the House of Representatives shut for more than 40 days so that we could not advance the Epstein Files Transparency Act. He is being actively shielded by members of his own party, whereas in other countries, including the UK, members of parliament are demanding accountability. And that is why our plea is to the American people. We need to hold these people accountable. And my message to Donald Trump is, we're coming for you. We are not moving on.
Yeah, really beautifully said there, and that's the answer. People, and it's interesting. I have this conversation all the time with people, specifically people in my family, close friends. Like people like Mike Johnson are in so many ways worse than Donald Trump. These people who sit around and enable this and allow this to happen, and a lot of them know it's evil and wrong. They know it, but they don't have a choice, or at least they believe they don't have a choice, I should say. They're under the belief that the only way for them to stay relevant, stay happy, be famous, make money, all these things, have power, is to bow down to Donald Trump. They will sell out any morals, values that they previously had for this man, and it is truly, truly, truly a disgrace. Now, this video of Khanna, I said, he's about to reveal, and he revealed today on the House floor, 6 names of very rich and powerful men that were redacted in the Epstein files, him going on the House floor and just saying them out loud. Let's take a listen.
That the DOJ hid for no apparent reason. When Congressman Massey and I pointed this out to the Department of Justice, they acknowledged their mistake. And now they have revealed the identity of these 6 powerful men. These men are Salvatore Navora, Zorab Mikoladze, Leopig Leonor, Nicola Caputa, Sultan Ahmed bin Sulayem, CEO of Dubai Ports World, and billionaire businessman Leslie Wexner, who was labeled as a co-conspirator by the FBI. Now, my question is, why did it take Thomas Massey and me going to the Justice Department to get these 6 men's identities to become public?
Yeah, I'll tell you why. And I know Representative Khanna knows why. It's because they're protecting the Epstein class. Good work here from these representatives actually showing up and fighting for the American people. Some other news, Epstein bombshell, his 9-year-old victim and senior government officials are revealed in redacted files. I mean, this is truly just gross and awful stuff. Thomas Massey tweeting here, this is a well-known retired CEO. DOJ should unredact this. Why did they redact it? Again, co-conspirators who are redacted, blatantly going against the law. And I've said this on several videos. It is inspiring to see the fight that the survivors of Jeffrey Epstein continue to fight for justice and for the truth. It is truly inspiring. I'm going to end it there. Let me know what you think of all of this in the comments down below. I really appreciate you watching this video. Once again, my name is Chris Mowrey. I do a daily video here on the Adam Mockler channel. Make sure you subscribe to both me and Adam Mockler down below, and I will see you tomorrow.